This week's Torah is another double portion. Number 29 is Acharei Mot, which is after the death. Number 30 is Kedoshim, the set apart ones. The Torah is taken from Leviticus chapter 16 through 20. The Haftarah is from the book of Amos, chapter 9, verses 7 through 15. And the apostolic portion is taken from the book of Mark, chapter 12, verses 28 through 34. Leviticus 16. And Yehovah spoke to Moshe after the death of the two sons of Aharon, as they drew near before Yehovah and died. And Yehovah said to Moshe, Speak to Aharon your brother not to come in at all times to the set apart place inside the veil, before the lid of atonement which is on the ark, lest he die, because I appear in the cloud above the lid of atonement. With this Aharon should come into the set apart place, with the blood of a young bull as a sin offering, and of a ram as a burnt offering. He should put on the set apart linen long shirt, with linen trousers on his flesh, and gird himself with a linen girdle, and be dressed with a linen turban. They are set apart garments, and he shall bathe his body in water, and shall put them on. And from the congregation of the children of Israel he takes 2 male goats as a sin offering, and 1 ram as a burnt offering. And Aharon shall bring the bull as a sin offering, which is for himself, and make atonement for himself and for his house. And he shall take the 2 goats, and let them stand before Yehovah at the door of the tent of meeting. And Aharon shall cast lots for the 2 goats, 1 lot for Yehovah, and the other for Azazel. And Aharon shall bring the goat on which the lot for Yehovah fell, and shall prepare it as a sin offering. But the goat on which the lot for Azazel fell is caused to stand alive before Yehovah, to make atonement upon it, to send it into the wilderness to Azazel. And Aharon shall bring the bull of the sin offering, which is for himself, and make atonement for himself and for his house, and shall slaughter the bull as the sin offering, which is for himself. And shall take a fire holder filled with burning coals of fire from the altar before Yehovah, with his hands filled with sweet incense beaten fine, and shall bring it inside the veil. And he shall put the incense on the fire before Yehovah, and the cloud of incense shall cover the lid of atonement, which is on the witness, lest he die. And he shall take some of the blood of the bull, and sprinkle it with his finger on the lid of atonement, on the east side. Also in front of the lid of atonement he sprinkles some of the blood with his finger 7 times. And he shall slaughter the goat of the sin offering, which is for the people, and shall bring its blood inside the veil, and shall do the blood, as he did with the blood of the bull, and sprinkle it on the lid of atonement and in front of the lid of atonement. And he shall make atonement for the set apart place, because of the uncleanness of the children of Israel, and because of their transgressions and all their sins. And so he does for the tent of meeting, which is dwelling with them in the midst of their uncleanness. And no man should be in the tent of meeting when he goes in to make atonement in this set apart place, until he comes out. And he shall make atonement for himself, and for his household, and for all the assembly of Israel. And he shall go out to the altar that is before Yehovah, and make atonement for it. And he shall take some of the blood of the bull, and some of the blood of the goat, and put it on the horns of the altar all around. And he shall sprinkle some of the blood on it with his finger 7 times, and cleanse it, and set it apart from the uncleanness of the children of Israel. And when he has finished atoning for the set-apart place, and the tent of meeting, and the altar, he shall bring the live goat. Then Aharon shall lay both his hands on the head of the live goat, and shall confess over it all the crookednesses of the children of Israel, and all their transgressions and all their sins, and shall put them on the head of the goat, and shall send it away into the wilderness by the hand of a fit man. And the goat shall bear on itself all their crookednesses to a land cut off. Thus he shall send the goat away into the wilderness. Aharon shall then come into the tent of meeting, and shall take off the linen garments which he put on when he went into the set-apart place, and shall leave them there. And he shall bathe his body in water in the set-apart place, and shall put on his garments, and shall come out and prepare his burnt offering, and the burnt offering of the people, and make atonement for himself and for the people, and burn the fat of the sin offering on the altar. And he who sent away the goat to Azazel washes his garments, and shall bathe his body in water, and afterward he comes into the camp. And the bull for the sin offering, and the goat for the sin offering, whose blood was brought in to make atonement in the set-apart place, is brought outside the camp. And they shall burn their skins, and their flesh, and their dung with fire. And he who burns them washes his garments, and shall bathe his body in water, and afterward he comes into the camp. And this shall be for you a law forever. In the 7th month, on the 10th day of the month, you afflict your beings, and do no work, the native or the stranger who sojourns among you. For on that day he makes atonement for you, to cleanse you, to be clean from all your sins before Jehovah. It is a Sabbath of rest for you, and you shall afflict your beings, a law forever. And the priest, who is anointed and ordained to serve as priest in his father's place, shall make atonement, and shall put on the linen garments, the set-apart garments. And he shall make atonement for the most set-apart place, and make atonement for the tent of meeting, and for the altar, and make atonement for the priest, and for all the people of the assembly. And this shall be for you a law forever, to make atonement for the children of Israel, for all their sins, once a year. And he did as Jehovah commanded Moshe. Leviticus 17. And Jehovah spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to Aaron, to his sons, and to all the children of Israel, and say to them, This is the word which Jehovah has commanded, saying, Any man from the house of Israel who slaughters a bull or a lamb or a goat in the camp, or who slaughters it outside the camp, and does not bring it to the door of the tent of meeting, to bring an offering to Jehovah before the dwelling place of Jehovah, blood guilt is reckoned to that man. He has shed blood, and that man shall be cut off from among his people, in order that the children of Israel bring their slaughterings which they slaughter in the open field, and they shall bring them to Jehovah at the door of the tent of meeting, to the priest, and slaughter them as peace offerings to Jehovah. And the priest shall sprinkle the blood on the altar of Jehovah at the door of the tent of meeting, and shall burn the fat for a sweet fragrance to Jehovah. And let them no longer slaughter their slaughterings to demons, after whom they whored. This is a law forever for them throughout their generations. And say to them, Any man of the house of Israel, or of the strangers who sojourn among you, who offers a burnt offering or slaughtering, and does not bring it to the door of the tent of meeting, to do it to Jehovah, that man shall be cut off from among his people. And any man of the house of Israel, or of the strangers who sojourn among you, who eats any blood, I shall set my face against that being who eats blood, and shall cut him off from amongst his people. For the life of the flesh is in the blood, and I have given it to you upon the altar to make atonement for your lives. For it is the blood that makes atonement for the life. Therefore I said to the children of Israel, no being among you eats blood, nor does any stranger who sojourns among you eat blood. And any man from the children of Israel, or from the strangers who sojourn among you, who hunts and catches any beast and bird which is eaten, shall pour out its blood and cover it with dust. For it is the life of all flesh, its blood is for its life. And I said to the children of Israel, do not eat the blood of any flesh, for the life of all flesh is its blood. Anyone eating it is cut off. And any being who eats a carcass, or what was torn by a beast, be he a native or a stranger, he shall wash his garments and bathe in water, and shall be unclean until evening. Then he shall be clean. And if he does not wash or bathe his body, then he shall bear his crookedness. Leviticus 18. And Yehovah spoke to Moshe, saying, speak to the children of Israel, and say to them, I am Yehovah your Elohim. Do not do as they do in the land of Mitzrayim, where you dwell, and do not do as they do in the land of Canaan, where I am bringing you, and do not walk in their laws. Do my right rulings and guard my laws to walk in them. I am Yehovah your Elohim. And you shall guard my laws and my right rulings, which a man does and lives by them. I am Yehovah. No one is to approach anyone of his own flesh to uncover his nakedness. I am Yehovah. The nakedness of your father or the nakedness of your mother you do not uncover. She is your mother. You do not uncover her nakedness. The nakedness of your father's wife you do not uncover it. It is your father's nakedness. The nakedness of your sister, the daughter of your father, or the daughter of your mother, whether born at home or elsewhere, their nakedness you do not uncover. The nakedness of your son's daughter or your daughter's daughter, their nakedness you do not uncover, for theirs is your own nakedness. The nakedness of your father's wife's daughter, brought forth by your father, she is your sister. You do not uncover her nakedness. The nakedness of your father's sister you do not uncover. She is your father's flesh. The nakedness of your mother's sister you do not uncover, for she is your mother's flesh. The nakedness of your father's brother you do not uncover. You do not approach his wife. She is your aunt. The nakedness of your daughter-in-law you do not uncover. She is your son's wife. You do not uncover her nakedness. The nakedness of your brother's wife you do not uncover. It is your brother's nakedness. The nakedness of a woman and her daughter you do not uncover, nor do you take her son's daughter or her daughter's daughter to uncover her nakedness. They are her relatives. It is wickedness. And do not take a woman as a rival to her sister to uncover her nakedness while the other is alive. And do not approach a woman to uncover her nakedness in her monthly separation of uncleanness. And do not have intercourse with the wife of your neighbor to defile yourself with her. And do not give any of your offspring to pass through to Molech, and do not profane the name of your Elohim. I am Yehovah. And do not lie with a male as with as with a woman. It is an abomination. And do not have intercourse with any beast, to defile yourself with it. And a woman does not stand before a beast to mate with it. It is a perversion. Do not defile yourselves with all these, for by all these the nations are defiled, which I am driving out before you. Thus the land became defiled. Therefore I punished it for its crookedness, and the land vomited out its inhabitants. But you shall guard my laws and my right rulings, and do not do any of these abominations, the native nor stranger who sojourns among you. Because the men of the land who were before you have done all these abominations, and thus the land became defiled. So let not the land vomit you out for defiling it, as it vomited out the nations that were before you. For whoever does any of these abominations, those beings who do them shall be cut off from among their people. And you shall guard my charge, so as not to do any of these abominable practices which were done before you, so as not to defile yourselves by them. I am Yehovah, your Elohim. Leviticus 19. And Yehovah spoke to Moshe, saying, Speak to all the congregation of the children of Israel, and say to them, Be set apart, for I, Yehovah your Elohim, am set apart. Each one of you should fear his mother and his father, and guard my Sabbaths. I am Yehovah your Elohim. Do not turn to idols, and do not make for yourselves molded mighty ones. I am Yehovah your Elohim. And when you bring a peace offering to Yehovah, bring it for your acceptance. It is eaten the same day you slaughter it, and on the next day, and that which is left on the third day is burned with fire. So if it is eaten at all on the third day, it is abominable, it is not accepted. And he who eats it bears his crookedness, because he has profaned the set-apart offering of Yehovah, and that being shall be cut off from his people. And when you reap the harvest of your land, do not completely reap the corners of your field, or gather the gleanings of your harvest. And do not glean your vineyard, or gather every grape of your vineyard. Leave them for the poor and the stranger. I am Yehovah your Elohim. Do not steal, do not lie, do not deceive one another. And do not swear falsely by my name, and so profane the name of your Elohim. I am Yehovah. Do not oppress your neighbor or rob him. The wages of him who is hired is not to remain with you all night until morning. Do not curse the deaf or put a stumbling block before the blind, but fear your Elohim. I am Yehovah. Do no unrighteousness in right ruling. Do not be partial to the poor or favor the face of the great, but rightly rule your neighbor in righteousness. Do not go slandering among your people. Do not stand against the blood of your neighbor. I am Yehovah. Do not hate your brother in your heart. Reprove your neighbor for certain, and bear no sin because of him. Do not take vengeance or bear a grudge against the children of your people, and you shall love your neighbor as yourself. I am Yehovah. Guard my laws. Do not let your livestock mate with another kind. Do not sow your field with mixed seed, and do not put a garment woven of 2 sorts of thread upon you. And when a man has intercourse with a woman who is a female servant engaged to a man, and who has not at all been ransomed nor redeemed, there should be an inquiry, but they are not put to death, because she was not free. And he shall bring his guilt offering to Jehovah, to the door of the tent of meeting, a ram as a guilt offering. And the priest shall make atonement for him with the ram of the guilt offering before Jehovah for his sin which has been done, and the sin which he has sinned shall be forgiven him. And when you come into the land, and have planted all kinds of trees for food, then you shall reckon their fruit as uncircumcised. For 3 years it is uncircumcised to you, it is not eaten. And in the 4th year all its fruit as set apart, praises to Jehovah. And in the 5th year you eat its fruit, so that it increases its yield to you. I am Jehovah your Elohim. Do not eat meat with the blood. Do not practice divination or magic. Do not round the corner of your head, nor destroy the corner of your beard. And do not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor put tattoo marks on you. I am Jehovah. Do not profane your daughter by making her a whore, so that the land does not whore, and the land becomes filled with wickedness. Guard my Sabbaths and reverence my set-apart place. I am Jehovah. Do not turn to mediums, and do not seek after spiritists, to be defiled by them. I am Jehovah your Elohim. Rise up before the gray-headed, and you shall favor the face of an old man, and shall fear your Elohim. I am Jehovah. And when a stranger sojourns with you in your land, do not oppress him. Let the stranger who dwells among you be to you as the native among you, and you shall love him as yourself. For you were strangers in the land of Mitzrayim. I am Jehovah your Elohim. Do no unrighteousness in right ruling, in measurement of length, in weight, or in measuring liquids. Have right scales, right weights, a right ephah, and a right hin. I am Jehovah your Elohim, who brought you out of the land of Mitzrayim. And you shall guard all my laws and all my right rulings, and do them. I am Jehovah. Leviticus 20. And Jehovah spoke to Moshe, saying, Say to the children of Israel, any man of the children of Israel, or of the strangers who sojourn in Israel, who gives any of his offspring to Molech, shall certainly be put to death. The people of the land shall stone him with stones. And I shall set my face against that man, and shall cut him off from the midst of his people, because he has given his offspring to Molech, so as to defile my set-apart place, and to profane my set-apart name. And if the people of the land at all hide their eyes from the man, as he gives any of his offspring to Molech, and they do not kill him, then I shall set my face against that man and against his clan, and shall cut him off, and all who go whoring after him, even go whoring after Molech, from the midst of their people. And the being who turns to mediums and to spiritists, to go whoring after them, I shall set my face against that being, and cut him off from the midst of his people. And you shall set yourselves apart, and shall be set apart, for I am Jehovah your Elohim. And you shall guard my laws and do them. I am Jehovah who sets you apart. For everyone who curses his father or his mother shall certainly be put to death. He has cursed his father or his mother. His blood is on him. and a man who commits adultery with the wife of another man, who commits adultery with the wife of his neighbor, the adulterer and the adulteress shall certainly be put to death. And a man who lies with the wife of his father has uncovered the nakedness of his father. Both of them shall certainly be put to death. Their blood is upon them. And a man who lies with his daughter-in-law, both of them shall certainly be put to death. They have made confusion. Their blood is upon them. And a man who lies with a male, as he lies with a woman, both of them have done an abomination. They shall certainly be put to death. Their blood is upon them. And a man who marries a woman and her mother, it is wickedness. They are burned with fire, both he and they, that there be no wickedness in your midst. And a man who has intercourse with the beast, he shall certainly be put to death, and the beast you kill. And a woman who approaches any beast and mates with it, you shall kill the woman and the beast. They shall certainly be put to death. Their blood is upon them. And a man who takes his sister, his father's daughter, or his mother's daughter, and sees her nakedness, and she sees his nakedness, it is wickedness, and they shall be cut off before the eyes of their people. He has uncovered his sister's nakedness. He bears his crookedness. And any man who lies with a woman during her sickness and uncovers her nakedness, he has laid bare her flow, and she has uncovered the flow of her blood. Both of them shall be cut off from the midst of their people. And do not uncover the nakedness of your mother's sister, nor of your father's sister, for that is laying bare one's own flesh. They bear their crookedness. And a man who lies with his uncle's wife, he has uncovered his uncle's nakedness. They bear their sin. They die childless. And a man who takes his brother's wife, it is uncleanness. He has uncovered his brother's nakedness. They are childless. And you shall guard all my laws and all my right rulings, and do them, so that the land where I am bringing you to dwell does not vomit you out. And do not walk in the laws of the nation which I am driving out before you, for they do all these, and therefore I loathe them. But I say to you, you are going to possess their land, and I myself give it to you to possess it, a land flowing with milk and honey. I am Jehovah your Elohim, who has separated you from the peoples. And you shall make a distinction between clean beasts and unclean, and between unclean birds and clean. And do not make yourselves abominable by beast or by bird, or whatever creeps on the ground, which I have separated from you as unclean. And you shall be set apart to me. For I, Jehovah, am set apart, and have separated you from the peoples to be mine. And a man or a woman in whom there is a medium, or who are spiritists, shall certainly be put to death. They are to stone them with stones. Their blood is upon them. Amos 9:7-15. Are you not like the people of Cush to me, O children of Israel, declares Jehovah? Did I not bring up Israel from the land of Mitzrayim, and the Philistines from Kaphtor, and Aram from Kir? Look, the eyes of the Master Jehovah are on the sinful rain, and I shall destroy it from the face of the earth, except that I do not completely destroy the house of Jacob, declares Jehovah. For look, I am commanding, and I shall sift the house of Israel among all the Gentiles, as one sifts with a sieve, yet not a grain falls to the ground. All the sinners of my people are going to die by the sword, those who are saying, evil does not overtake us nor meet us. In that day I shall raise up the booth of David which is fallen down, and I shall repair its breaches and raise up its ruins, and I shall build it as in the days of old, so that they possess the remnant of Edom, and all the Gentiles on whom my name is called, declares Yehovah who does this. Look, the days are coming, declares Yehovah, that the plowman shall overtake the reaper, and the treader of grapes him who sows seed, and the mountains shall drip new wine, and all the hills melt. And I shall turn back the captivity of my people Israel, and they shall build the waste cities and inhabit them, and they shall plant vineyards and drink wine from them, and shall make gardens and eat their fruit. And I shall plant them on their own soil, and not uproot them any more from their own soil I have given them, said Yehovah your Elohim. Mark 12:28 through 34. And one of the scribes coming near, hearing them reasoning together, knowing that he had answered them well, asked him, which is the first command of all? And Yeshua answered him, the first of all the commands is, Hear, O Israel, Yehovah our Elohim, Yehovah is one. And you shall love Yehovah your Elohim with all your heart, and with all your being, and with all your mind, and with all your strength. This is the first command. And the second, like it, is this: you shall love your neighbor as yourself. There is no other command greater than these. And the scribe said to him, Well said, teacher, you have spoken the truth. For there is one Elohim, and there is no other beside him. And to love him with all the heart, and with all the understanding, and with all the being, and with all the strength, and to love one's neighbor as oneself, is more than all the burnt offerings and offerings. And when Yeshua saw that he answered wisely, he said to him, You are not far from the reign of Elohim. And after that, no one was bold enough to question him.